Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I wanted to show you what came in my BoxyLuxe for December. It's like so big. It's like it needs the whole screen. It's like I can't fit myself in here with it. But I have been somehow a little MIA on social media, so I didn't see any of the spoilers, any of the previews for this box. I think a lot of that is because since about the tail end of November, like right around Thanksgiving break and on, I've been spending less time on social media so that I could spend more time with my family. And so I had to open my box to see what there was to show you what I thought about it and try it on appropriately. One thing I will tell you is there were two items in here that I used, one in the shower and one right out of the shower. So let's talk about those first. The first thing that I used in the shower was this. This is the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. This is 5 ounces. I used to use this religiously for probably a good solid 2 years. It's one of my really nostalgic favorite face washes. The reason I don't still use it is the price point. It's $48 for 5 ounces. And I can get products that are not anywhere near that expensive that do a great second cleanse. But I will tell you the reason that I love this so much is this is the first cleanser. Because for years, I didn't like washing my face with facial cleansers because everything I had been using up to a certain point had been overly stripping. And I'll admit, for many years, like my college years, high school and college years, and shortly after into my 20s, I'd been using stuff from the drugstore. Drugstore stuff is so much better now, 20 plus years later. But when I first started using like the Clean and Clear and the Neutrogena or the Noxzema or whatever there used to be, the Sea Breeze, it was very stripping and very drying, and my skin always felt really irritated. And this was the first high-end face wash I ever purchased. And I remember it was more than a decade ago because I had fallen into the habit of falling asleep in my makeup. Don't ever do that. I'm embarrassed to say that I used to, but in my teens and 20s, I kind of didn't care. But once I hit 30, decided I'm a big girl now. I'm gonna put on my big girl pants and I'm gonna do what's right for myself. I'm gonna be a grown up for once. So I bought this and I loved it. And I knew when I saw it in the box, it was kind of like a moment of giddy excitement. I loved it so much. And it's exactly what I remember it being, a very lightly fragrance, almost like, it has a slight cucumber type, maybe not cucumber, it's very spa-like. It doesn't really have a discernible, it smells like cucumber, but then it doesn't. It smells fresh, it smells clean, maybe it smells like soy. I don't know what soy smells like, but I'll tell you, this really walks the line of cleaning your skin without overstripping your skin. And I have normal skin and oily like right around in here. If there is a cream cleanser, sometimes it doesn't clean this area well enough and it's really greasy and sebum starts to build up. And if it's too stripping, the rest of my skin feels really tight. This walks the line of cleansing without overstripping. It is, if you're curious, it's not quite clear, it's not really white, but it also has kind of a nice pull to it. And it's not sticky or thick, but I really like it. And as far as cleansers go, out of the 3 facial cleansers I've received this year, this has been my favorite one. I've finished the other 2 up, but this would be the one that I'd be like, oh, really? You sent me a nearly $50 cleanser and it is so good. So the next item I used straight out of the towel came in this little packaging right here. This is from Daily Concepts. It's Your Hair Towel Wrap. And it looks like this. It's a little pink, has got a button here, and at the very bottom, next to their tag, is this little elastic loop. And the idea is that you bend over, you put it over your head, you twist it, and you attach the little loop in the front to the back. So here's where I tell you, as someone who has curly hair, I live for microfiber towels. They are the best thing to ever happen to me to keep my curls intact, to dry them without really roughing up the hair cuticle like a terry cloth towel can do. So for years, I've been using a Turby Twist. And this is a fairly new one I picked up. in a duo pack probably 2 months ago, because the other ones I had they needed to be replaced. We'll just put it at that point. And I didn't get it because I like the print. I got it because I found it at Marshall's for nearly nothing in a duo pack. And I was like, sign me up. All right, so if this is, and this, by the way, is my favorite. It doesn't have any of the elastic along the edge here. And I could tell because I've been using Turby Twists for probably 8 or 9 years now. I've been using them for a long time. And I was curious when I tried this on, but I could tell that the one that came in my box this month was smaller than what I'm used to. So let me show you what I mean. When you line up the edge right here, and you go all the way to the back, the Turby Twist is just a hair deeper. The other thing I noticed is it felt a little short, and even when you pull it out, there is still several more inches in the other one. So the other one feels just a little bit larger, the Turby Twist does. The one thing that I really liked about this Daily Concepts is the microfiber on here is so much more plush. It has a heavier, deeper nap to it. It's not quite as luxe and deep on these guys. I think they work equally well. So a couple of downsides. This is a little bit smaller than the one that I'm used to using. I also don't like ones with buttons. I'm not gonna lie. I find them to be, you know, if that's my closure, I gotta turn this inside out to find the loop and then put this on there. Now, truth is, I'm gonna use it. And every, 2 or 3 hair washes, I pull a new one out. So I have a lot of hair wraps like this in rotation in my bathroom. It's probably not going to be one that I would repurchase because I feel like with my giant watermelon head, this is too small. It's not a bad hair wrap. It's not my favorite. So this was one of the 2 products I was actually able to customize for the month of December, and it was this. This is the Elemis Pro-Collagen Rose Facial Oil. This oil, oh my goodness, I like it so much. I've already opened it up just to smell it, so I'm gonna put 4 drops in my hand. You really don't need a lot. It smells like you just stuck your nose in a rose. So if you don't like anything that's scented in skincare, you're not gonna like this. Also, if you don't like rose scented stuff, this is not gonna be for you. But what I like doing with products like this, especially now that we're in December, I already have other skincare on. I wanted to make sure I layered my skincare on in the right way. But I found myself last December when the Elemis Pro-Collagen Marine Cream, when the Pro-Collagen Marine Cream came in our Luxie box in December, I fell in love with that. And that really helped to get me through the really super cold, like below 0 temperatures where I live in Eastern Washington. And so that was my first introduction to Elemis. And then over the last 12 months, I've tried their apricot toner. I've tried their Pro-Collagen cleansing balm. I've tried more of their marine cream. I've tried their superfood clay mask. And I knew that I was gonna like this. I really tend to like rose scented things if they smell like an actual rose. And this really smells like you just put your nose right in a rose. So I think that's great. It doesn't have kind of like a chemically rose fragrance. It smells like an actual rose. Now that winter's here, I find myself taking a facial oil like this and putting a few drops in my hand and a little dollop of whatever face cream I'm using, mixing those 2 things together, like making my own little concoction in my hand, and then applying that to my face as a last step. I wanted to use just the oil here today, just so you could see what it looks like. But I think this is going to pair really well with the Pro-Collagen Marine Cream for when the weather got really cold. So I'm going to combine those 2 things, make my own little concoction, and use it on my face this winter. And it should help keep me hydrated and get me through the really cold season that we're just starting to move into. So another thing I was able to customize in my box for this month was this. This is from Cosmedix. It's their facial roller. It looks like this. It comes like in a really nice little box like this, but what's interesting about this is that it has these little stones here on the end, and you're just supposed to roll it over your face like this. The one thing I was curious about, I remember seeing Tati from Glam Life Guru talk about a Tourmaline facial roller that looked exactly like this, only purple, from Nurse Jamie. And I was like, did Nurse Jamie change their branding and become Cosmedix? No. So I don't know if this product is a knockoff of the other Nurse Jamie. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but what I can tell you is that what's great about it is it's very cooling. And so it feels it almost feels like I have an ice roller. So if you suffer from puffiness, this might be great for like right under the eyeballs. Feels so good. I'm distracted by how nice and cooling it feels. It talks about being great for tightening, sagging, wrinkled skin. I don't know. I haven't done any research on this type of facial roller. Maybe I should be rolling up, but I'll tell you, I find that the older I get, and with some weight loss that I've had over the past almost 2 years now, I got a little turkey waddle going on here, so I'm just gonna roll for a little minute here. It's one of those things where you have to use it regularly for a long time to really figure out whether it has any positive effects. I think sometimes things like this, for me, can fall into two categories. They don't really work, but it's kind of self-care, because taking the time to just chill and give myself a little facial massage, it feels nice. It feels nice. And I'm usually so busy that to take the time to use a tool like this, whether it does what it says or not, it is time that I can just sit here and close my eyes and just chill. And then there are other tools that I feel really do have an effect on my skin. But this is something I'd have to leave like right here in my brush jar just to remember to use it, because I'm really good at forgetting things. Like the things that I force myself to remember: washing my face, putting on my sunscreen, brushing my teeth. I think those are like the things that like I needs must do. And the rest of it's kind of like if I remember or if I have time. All right, so I'm gonna put this away, but this is kind of fun, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna take this minute to put on the rest of, like, finish my skincare. I'm gonna put on some SPF. I'm gonna put on like my foundation and everything else. And we're gonna come back to the point where we can continue on with what there is in the box and put that on my face as well. I think the next thing I'm gonna put on is this. It's the Ciate Confetti highlighter. Ooh, look at that. It looks like a bunch of little teeny tiny spheres pressed into a pan. It's very golden. You can see where I ran my finger through it right here. I was worried that it might have been overspray. Maybe some of it is. It's a very bronzy highlight. This might be a little too much. We're gonna put it on anyway. Do me good. It's very pretty. Oh, it's a little dark. I can definitely see it. I think this might be a really nice highlight if you weren't as fair as I am. I would consider myself very strongly in the fair spectrum of skin tone. I'm no longer the deathly pale, ghostly white vampire spectrum. I think I've darkened up a little bit, but I still do wear, like I'm wearing Laura Mercier foundation today in the shade 1N1. And I believe it's the lightest neutral shade foundation they make. I also wear that shade in Estee Lauder Double Wear. I wear shade 100 in Lancome makeups. I think the only lighter shade than that is 090. I wear almost the fairest shade in every single foundation. If you're not as fair as I am, you might actually really like this highlight because it's very pretty. It's very glowy, but it is a little too dark. This is next. This is from Storybook Cosmetics. It's their Fairy Tales Little Briar Rose. So they have like a little Sleeping Beauty here. Oh, I always think that the packaging for these are so pretty. They do actually look like books. You could put them on a shelf and line them up like this and it look like you have a great collection. But then you open up the inside and it's makeup. They do have a mirror in here, and I'm going to take the plastic sheet off because I'm going to use this mirror today. Love this. So satisfying. The other thing that I think is rather interesting is that it opens so instead of this opening like this and staying like this. It opens all the way flat. The first shade I'm going to use is this one right here. This one's called Woodland. It's the lightest shade. It's very much a skin tone shade for me, a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. So I'm going to start with this as a transition shade. I think the next shade I'm going to use is this one right here. This one's called Briar Rose. It's a really pretty, almost melon shade. Reminds me a little bit like a cantaloupe or maybe papaya, very fruity. I guess maybe I'm still hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet, and all I can think of is fruit. Very, very pretty shade though. I'm going to use this shade right here called Grim. Just a little bit of it, like right here in the outer corner to deepen up. So far, the three that I've used seem to blend pretty well. They're pigmented without being difficult. Sometimes my concern with really pigmented shadows is, am I going to be able to blend it? Oh, it makes such a difference. I like it. Other side. I feel like I'm really close to doing a very nude, easy, similar eye to what I normally do. So I wanted to incorporate a couple of these blue shades in here. This one is called Castle, and this kind of icy, pale blue, almost silver, is called Fairies. So I wouldn't normally do this, but it's time to not live in the safe space.
Mama.
Yes, mi amor.
Derp.
Derp. What's the derp mean?
Stupid.
Derp means stupid, so you came in here and said stupid. You weren't calling me stupid, were you?
No.
Well, I don't know about that, baby.
I wasn't. I just said derp.
I know, but I thought you weren't going. You said, "Hey, mama, derp."
Stupid.
I know. Okay, I love you.
Okay.
Dame un besito.
No matter,
Love
I
you.
don't care if you're recording right now.
I am recording right now.
Okay, yeah.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
All right. I feel like I need a little more of this blue. I feel like I'm starting to lose the battle in my crease with these eyeshadows. It could be the colors I chose. It could be the fact that I primed my lids with a concealer instead of an actual primer. I don't know. I'm not getting the best blend, and I'm really starting to see like the actual crease right here. Like, I don't know. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to use that, this shade right here called Woodland. I'm going to use that and take it a little bit farther down than I normally would. I'm going to take some of this Briar Rose shade here, a little bit of the dark plummy Grim shade. You know what I'm kind of intrigued by? This really dark blue shade here. This one's called Prince. I take that on a little bit of a liner brush and just kind of maybe that wasn't a good idea. We're doing it anyway. I'm going to throw a little bit of the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner and Brouhaha in my upper waterline and some mascara. I'm going to use the Lancome Monsieur Big. I'm going to stop messing with the eye look. I think it's about where I can get it today without either ruining it. I'm definitely not going to make it any better. That's for sure. All right, so the next thing I wanted to try was this. This is the Too Faced High Shine Sparkling Lip Gloss. It's from their Rich and Dazzling collection. I was not very impressed with that collection, and so I didn't pick up anything from it. This one's called Two Night Stand. It's a glittery pink lipstick. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. I guess it's okay. I think this might do better if I had a little liner on first. Let me grab a liner. All right, a little liner always helps with a semi-sheer gloss. Will it start to gum up in the corners? Oh, maybe. I'll have to see as I talk if it gets gross in the corners. That's my least favorite thing. And the thing that I have a kind of like a really high expectation of lip glosses for is, will it collect here and start to do that stringy pull thing? Oh, I cannot abide that. This has a interesting, slightly sweet scent to it. The one thing I will tell you, because there are little teeny tiny microfine particles, shimmers in this, you really can feel them on the lips. It feels a little sandy. I don't really like that either, but I know that when you're using highly reflective particles in a lipstick, you are going to have some of that going on. And as I wipe it all off, I don't know that you'd be able to see it on camera, but I can definitely see there's still a lot of glitter left behind. So my concern now is when all of the rest of this product wears off, am I going to have like a total glitter lip going on? I don't know about this. All right, 2 products left. One of them here is m.greengrass. This is their dry oil spray. The fragrance is Beach Air. And in reading about this, it's a multi-purpose dry oil. And I think this would be great, and I didn't read about it enough. I probably should have used this like for body hydration straight out of the shower. They say you can use it on your face. Probably won't. I think if I'm going to use an oil on my face, I'm more likely to go with the Elemis, or on your hair, and I might actually do that today, but I wanted to see what it smells like. I'm going to spray it onto my hand here. Oh, it smells amazing. It's called Beach Air. Oh my goodness, what is this beautiful magic? I love this. I'm just going to rub it on my arms. Oh, it's almost like it's gone. So as I was reading through the ingredients, oils and fragrance, that's all you have in here. I was worried there might be some like silicone product, like a dimethicone of some sort, and there really isn't. It's really, really quite nice. Wow. I would also be afraid to spray this, like if I was in the bathroom. I have linoleum on the floor in my bathroom, and if I were to spray it from above, that some of it wouldn't hit my body and would hit the floor, and then I would slip and fall. So I think I'm always going to like spray this into my hands, but I want to put some in my hair. I wonder if I could just... my hair is still slightly damp since I'm letting it air dry, but a little glow never hurt. And if nothing else, just for the way that this smells. I love this. I'm in... I didn't think I was going to like it. I really do. So the last thing in the box is this. This is the IGK First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo. I washed my hair today, so I really don't need any dry shampoo. And being that my curly hair tends to be on the dry side, I don't have a lot of oils. Even if I go like 3 days between washing my hair, it's like you can hardly... The only way you know that I haven't wet my hair in 3 days is that everything gets bigger and bigger and bigger and fuzzier and kind of crazy. And dry shampoo is not going to help the frizz and curl in my head. But I don't really get greasy, and it doesn't... That's not something that I struggle with. But I did want to smell it. Well, it smells good. As you can see where I hit it here, it looks like it's kind of like a white, maybe even more like a gray powder. I'm almost tempted to try and put some in my hair. Not that I need it, but maybe it'll give me some volume. I want to know whether it's too white. Okay. Actually, you know, it's not that bad. I just don't feel like I'm getting any residual white or pale gray powder that's visible in my hair. And that's always the thing that I have a hard time with dry shampoos, is that maybe a little bit. And it's hard to tell because I'm letting my hair go gray. Maybe a little bit. I don't think it's bad. I think this would be something that if you're concerned about dark hair, I really can't tell you really well because texture hides powder like this pretty well. And then on top of that, the fact that I'm letting my hair naturally gray, my line of demarcation, you can see there's a lot of, oh, maybe this is it right here. Yes, there is a lot of white powder because look, if I rub it in, it's gone. I was like, I don't have that much white towards the frame of my face. Okay, I lied. You are going to see some of it, but I think that if you kind of rub it in, you'll get rid of it. I really don't see myself reaching for this. So out of this whole box, I would say there are probably solidly more than half of the items I'm going to use on a regular basis. One thing that I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of is this hair towel. I think that having a towel like this is great, especially for someone like me with curly hair who really lives for a microfiber towel. Another thing that surprised me, I really didn't have very high hopes for, was this m.greengrass dry oil spray in Beach Air. It said inspired by Greece. Oh yes, and it says fragrance notes, bergamot, citrus, white jasmine, Brazilian softwood, heliotrope, and musk. Oh, and I love that it's a multi-use oil. You can spray it on your body. I will be spraying it in my hair just for the scent because it's delicious. I love that. Another thing I'm really excited to have again is this face wash from Fresh. I know I've loved it in the past. It's really, really a beautiful product. I'm so glad to have it. This Elemis rose oil is going to come in handy now that we're in almost the dead of winter. I live in the state of Washington. It's already in the 20s here. So having a little extra layer of hydration on my face is fantastic. Another thing that I'm really curious about, and I want to know whether it works really well, is this facial roller from Cosmedix. It's nice. It even works great over makeup because it's very cooling. I don't know. We'll have to see if it helps. I'll let you know from my under chin turkey waddle whether it turns out to be a good thing or not. All right, so those are the things that I think I'm going to get the most use out of. Although I think this is a fabulous product, I don't use dry shampoos. Maybe my kids will get some use out of it. I've had very hit or miss. There have been 2 glosses this year from Boxycharm, these 2 right here, the Dominique Cosmetics lemonade one, and then the one from Iconic London. Those are like right here for me to reach because those have been great. I've really liked those. And I think what I don't like about this is the shimmer in it because I can actually feel that texture on my lips. And I still do have like residual glitter on my hand from where I swatched it. I'm starting to get like a little rim, like right on the inside and right down here. You know that rim that you get like that could turn white and crusty? I see a little bit of that going on. It has not started to collect in the outside corners. Maybe I didn't put on too much. So there's that. This right here, by the way, I love the look of. It's such a pretty product. I think it's really, really nice. And I think the packaging is super cute, but it's too dark. It's just like sincerely too dark for me. I don't know about this. This looks really pretty. You know what I haven't done? We haven't looked at the swatches. Let's swatch the whole thing. These are all the swatches. I don't know. I think some of them, you know, felt really nice as swatches. I had some problems with this shade here. This is Grim in my outer corner. And I was using, and maybe I need to use synthetic brushes. I was using my Wayne Goss. I think these are squirrel hair. And it worked okay, but then it kind of, I don't know. I want to try it again with different brushes. This darkest blue here, this one's called Prince. I have a little bit of that on my lower lash line. It looks like it's going to be slightly more, I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but it has a little bit of a shimmer to it in the pan, but it looks almost completely matte on the hand. The 2 more shimmery bluish shades are Castle and Fairy. This one here called Beauty, this one feels amazing and it looks so pretty. So that one and I think this one up here called Talia feel the best. I want to try it again, and then there's part of me that goes, probably won't, but we'll see. I'll have to get back to you. I'm very curious about total value, so I'm gonna grab my phone really quick and add things up. Total value for this box comes in at $385. So I just changed up my lip look because I felt like I needed a little bit more color to my face. Added a few of the Lisa Eldridge True Velvet lipsticks in Velvet Beauty and Velvet Midnight. And then I put more of this Too Faced gloss over the top. I like this look a little bit better. Okay, here's the thing. I feel like this box, there's enough in here to make it worth $50 for me. I will tell you, I'm gonna get some use out of this hair towel. I'm definitely interested to see what sort of results I get with long-term use from this Cosmedix facial roller. The 3 things that I know I automatically love, 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 I'm glad I have, is this soy facial cleanser from Fresh, the rose face oil from Elemis, and this m.greengrass Beach Air Dry Body Oil. I didn't think I was gonna love it that much, and it's been really great. So that is 5 products there that really worked for me. And here's the thing, is that normally I buy Boxycharm for the makeup, and I see that this time, none of the makeup was a standout for me. This is really pretty, but it's too dark in tone for my skin. Although I really do like the colors in here, these more rosy tones, and then the blues. I think it's really pretty. I don't know that I'm gonna reach for it again. And I really don't like the feeling that slightly gritty feeling that the ultrafine glitter in here gives on my lips. That's just a personal preference thing for me. I also am not a dry shampoo type of person because I don't need it. I need maybe something to help moisturize my scalp because I tend to be very, very dry. But I think that, you know, there are people in my house who can use this. And I don't know, maybe I'll give this to one of my girls. I just don't think that it's for me. I feel like I started buying Boxycharm years ago because the makeup was great. And this box didn't hit it out of the park. But the skincare and the body stuff in here, yeah, I liked it. And I think that for me, it was worth the $50. So my question to you is, do you still get Boxycharm? Have you been thinking about, is it continuing to add more value to what I have? But then the hard part for me is ending up with stuff that I don't think I'm going to use. Is it my favorite Boxycharm box? No. But do I think I got my money's worth? Yeah. And I'm still trying to decide whether this is something I'm going to continue doing. I've already paid for 6 months worth up until February, and I don't know whether I'm going to continue past that or not. So let me know if these videos are interesting to you. Do you like watching, you know, try-on videos and first impressions of products? Or are you kind of, not so much? It's okay. You do it, don't do it. Doesn't really, you know, no skin off my nose. But I'm curious. That might help me make my decision as to whether I continue to get Boxycharm or not. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a fantastic day. And if you get Boxycharm, tell me what you like most about it or what has disappointed you the most about it. And if you get a different subscription box, let me know what box you get and why you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.